You with Kung Fu Eddy. He will fight you to the death.
Beautiful. Ooh, that gray. Ooh.
Like that?
Badass. What's up, everybody? This is Kung Fu Eddy, baby, representing the Big Propaganda Wrestling Podcast and talking to Eddy, baby. And I'm here with a very special friend because originality, especially in media, comes very little. And this one, definitely original in my opinion. I'm introducing you to Dan Price, baby. How are you doing, my friend?
I'm doing great, man. Thanks so much for having me on the interview, dude.
For sure. So, like I said, originality is very rarely happen. Where did that concept of Bigfoot knows karate came from?
Okay, so originally it was supposed to be a comedy, all right?
Okay.
And the title's funny enough, you know?
Yeah.
It was a terrible story. It was not funny, and I come from a history of comedy writing. It was not funny, and you got to be able to know that. You know what I mean? That was 2014. I shelved the concept. I came back to it in 2017.
Okay.
And started drawing it again. This time with this warrior expression, you know, this pensive face. And I started thinking, if you were the only one of your kind, you're the only one of your species. No one knows you exist. What would that do to your soul and your psyche? By the way, you're 10 foot tall and you know martial arts. Okay?
That for sure,
That was the impotence. And I'll tell you what, I believe in something called the Reese's theory, okay? Chocolate and peanut butter. Smush them together and it makes it so good.
Yeah, I get
karate,
that concept.
Man, same thing, man. It just seemed like a natural that was never thought of before. You know what I mean? Or maybe, I hope not. You know what I mean? But you know, and it just had to be something different.
Yes.
It had to be something different. It could not be the same martial arts flick that we've seen so many times with the revenge plot and that sort of thing.
For sure.
If you've got nothing, if no one knows you exist and nobody cares, you have nothing. What do you have to get revenge on? So you have to build that plot.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So he goes from being completely alone, nobody knows he exists, to being and hunted down by Cthulhu, or as we call him, Kung Fu Thulu. And the Ultimate Monster Showdown. You know, you go from that where nobody knows he's alive, and to surrounded by enemies and hunted and you know, with a knife at their throat at every turn. It's crazy. But you know, the comic's cool because we have a lot of different cryptids, kaiju, creature allure. I mean, like I said, we got Kung Fu Thulu, but we also have like Chupacabra with a shotgun, you know, and minotaurs, and a Mothman who's a seer through time and space, but he can't see 3 feet in front of him because he's blind.
Oh.
You know, I mean, it's stuff like that. But you know, to do something rad like that, you know, it's to me, that's a long answer to a short question.
No. That is a perfect answer because again, it has. Like that joke with SNL, like, oh my God, this comic has everything. And you just go into this deep detail because this is how passionate you are. This is how grateful you are that you have opportunities like a Fan Expo to expose this concept to everybody. Even though I met you, I said hi to you at Comapalooza, but we're still seeing each other in Texas.
Oh yeah.
So with that being said, like, what is your favorite Comic-Con that you've been to? Or let's be selfish, which one that actually you sold enough copies that you're like, oh yeah, I'm coming back?
Oh, Comicpalooza, Staple, Casa. I'm just doing Texas shows right now. South Texas Comic Con. I was there like 3 weeks a month ago, something like that. That was awesome.
Yeah.
That was the most friendly crowd. I can't say more about that. Greater Austin Comic Con. I got that in a few weeks. That's an amazing show where we just sell
Greater
stuff.
Austin, call me back, okay?
Yeah, Greater Austin Comic Con, July 20th and 21st. So come check me out over there.
For sure, man, for sure. So with the concept art, like, again, you talked about the main one, the one with, you know, Bigfoot with a samurai sword.
Yeah.
What other concept covers as my partner doing? Which one is like your absolute favorite, or something that if there's a building on fire, this is the one I cannot lose?
Okay, so this one right here came to me from a gentleman named Adam Caswell. This was a piece of fan art. Can you believe it? This was fan art. He sent me a DM and said, listen, send me your address. I want to mail you the original to your home.
Wow.
Okay? I have this hanging up in my office, in my studio space.
That's beautiful.
Okay? And what happened with this is Adam came on, we paid him for the fan art, we turned it into a cover, and that began our relationship. And then he did, for issue 2, he did a wraparound cover. Okay.
Okay,
That's
okay.
just dope. I love it.
That's beautiful, man.
And so it's so cool. So we did that, but then when we did, when we did our prequel book, Hinagon, we had him do the interiors on that. It takes place in feudal Japan, hundreds of years before the main storyline. So it's very important to me. This looks so different from every other, from the other Bigfoot books, because it's just a different story completely, a different time in history. So yeah. I know we were talking covers, but I had to brag about Adam.
No, but that's the thing about like comics that illustration grabs your attention, and then the story keeps you engaged.
Yeah.
So you gotta brag about it. You gotta talk about it. Like, I mean, again, the artistry itself is beautiful, and the fact that you have fans giving you ideas, that shows you of how much fandom or dedication they have for you.
It's amazing. Listen, first I want to shout out somebody really special.
Go ahead.
Casey Allen is my co-writer and editor on this project. He's the dream partner on this. I just wanted to shout him out real quick. As far as like the art and the fan art and all that, we received over 250 pieces of fan art for this book, and now we're only on our 4th issue. You know, that's incredible to me that somebody would take the time to draw this character that they didn't know before the first issue. They just seen teaser art and stuff like that. And for them to go ahead and draw these characters, I mean, 250 plus pieces, that's insane to me. Instagram's been so good to us. You know, finding an audience, it's been amazing. Kickstarter, same thing. So really grateful, really humbled by the amount of people who are just into the comic, who check it out, and really seem to enjoy it. So, I mean, like today, I had a guy come up to me. Apparently, this is the 3rd con we met at. And he's like, I keep seeing you. I keep buying your stuff. I love what you're doing. What's your new stuff? He went and bought a Hinagon foil from me yesterday.
That's clean.
Isn't that cool?
That's clean.
Yeah,
man.
the art was done by Dennis Valencia on this cover.
Shout out, man.
Yeah, shout out to Dennis, man. He's one of my partners at Homebrewed Comics, and so glad to know him. So yeah.
So with that being said, without giving out too much details, because obviously we want the audience to come and buy your stuff.
Sure.
What is like one of the favorite stories or crazy story that you just came up with, or even your partner Casey Allen that came up with that was just like, oh no, this has to be in the cover?
Okay, has to be in the comic?
In the comic, yes.
Okay.
My bad. Sorry.
So, it's funny because Casey is helming a new book that we're doing. So we have chapter 3 currently on Kickstarter, which is 12 days left on that. I don't know why I did 2.
No.
12 days.
Support, guys, support.
Yes, thank you. But Casey's working on a new book right now for Bigfoot Knows Karate called God Killer. Okay?
Excuse me?
Bigfoot Knows Karate, God Killer.
Okay.
Yeah, and so that book, and I'm going to tell you just the through line on it. Bigfoot's been accused of the murder of Odin.
Oh my goodness.
That's all I'm going to say.
That's all you got to say, man.
Yeah, so look out for that about February hitting Kickstarter. Okay?
For sure, man.
Yeah, man.
Well, other than Kickstarter, man, I do truly appreciate your time, man. This is amazing, and I'm going to support you as well. After the cameras go off, I'm going to buy something. With that being said, other than Kickstarter, where else did the audience have to support you, continue supporting you, and where they buy the comics as well?
Absolutely.
The store is yours.
Thank you. Okay, so you can find me on the following. Well, I'm a member of Homebrewed Comics right here. Okay, this is a small independent publishing label we started recently. You're going to be able to find us come October in comic book stores. Okay, Bigfoot Knows Karate, Crit, Caspian Porter, Celestial Knight, all the Homebrew line will start hitting comic book stores in October. So I implore you, go to your local comic book store and tell them you want Homebrewed Comics, Bigfoot Knows Karate, Crit, Caspian Porter, and Celestial Knight. You can find me there. On Instagram, you can find me right here at danomite139. I'm not on Twitter anymore. I'm done with Twitter. So
Thank you.
You can find me on Instagram at danomite139. And then if you want to get the central hub for Bigfoot Knows Karate, go to bigfootknowskarate.com. You can see a link to the Kickstarter. You can pick up books, previous books. You can get t-shirts and all sorts of good stuff there, as well as check out the fan art gallery. So thank you to everyone. Thank you guys for having me on, and thank you so much for just supporting this comic. It is the dream project, and I am so grateful to all of you.
Man, with that being said, thank you for talking to Kung Fu Eddy Baby, representing the Big Barbergana Wrestling Podcast and talking to Eddy Baby, and we are out.
Dude, that was
Thank
awesome.
You so